Elon Musk expected to roll out part 3 of his master plan, but with the stock trading at a forward PE of 50, can you still be a buyer? Let's bring in CFRA's VP of Equity Research, Garrett Nelson. Garrett, great to have you with us. You've got a $250 price target on the stock. You like it. What do you think, Elon Musk, what is that one more thing, rabbit out of the hat, that Elon Musk is going to pull out today?
Yeah, thanks for having me. We think it's going to be a mix of both near-term and long-term items that investors are looking for. In the near term, it's really that demand has continued to rebound ever since they cut prices last month. They came into the year with a pretty significant amount of vehicle inventory. They cut prices and their sales surged. The timing regarding the first production and shipments of the Cybertruck, they're saying mid-year this year. What does the production and delivery ramp up look like over the next 2 to 3 years? Are they continuing to ramp up production at the Austin and Berlin factories, the 2 new factories they opened last year? How soon can they get to full capacity and add the additional production lines there? And then long term, it's really how they're going to achieve this very ambitious goal that they've laid out to get to annual volumes of 20 million units in the year 2030. Now, that would represent 40 times growth over the 500,000 units that they sold in 2020. So I think you might see announcements regarding the new factory in Mexico. And then what does it look like after that as far as additional factories and possibly additional vehicle models? A lot of talk about a mass market EV being rolled out at this event.
Yeah, that's going to be key to watch. Garrett, I wonder, when you think about competition, for much of last year, it was about competition onboarding, right, from the likes of GM and Ford. Lately, we've seen how difficult the business is through the eyes of Lordstown and Lucid and Rivian. Would you argue they are pulling away, or are there more players trying to steal their share of the sandbox?
Yeah, really, Tesla has the benefit of being founded, back in about 17 years ago. And so they've been through that stage of what Elon Musk has famously called production hell. A lot of people forget that really Tesla didn't become consistently profitable until just a few years ago. And so what you're seeing now with some of the names you mentioned and some of the other new entrants into the industry is they're going through that production hell phase right now. And they're really struggling with their production ramp up. The cash burn rates are very high, and you're seeing liquidity issues start to pop up. And so I think that's what you've seen. Certainly with Rivian's earnings release last night, you see how much the stock is down today. Also with Lucid last week, same thing.
Yeah, Lucid can't seem to sell the cars. Nobody wants them. Garrett, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about factories and meeting that 20 million vehicles by 2030 target. Elon Musk has said that they would need about a dozen more factories. We know that the Mexican, or we don't know, but it's expected the Mexican factory that they will probably announce today officially could cost $5 billion. How do you think about the ramp of capital expenditures just to meet that production goal?
So Tesla is expected to generate free cash flow well in excess of their spend. Operating cash flow is very strong. And so it's really a very manageable amount of CapEx. But and then going forward, the Cybertruck should account for a significant increase in the growth in deliveries over the next few years. And so that's going to be a big time cash flow generator and should help fund additional growth. But, there's lots of questions about how Tesla gets there. We think that it could be a combination of both greenfields expansion, like they've done with the last three factories that they've built, but it could also be brownfields expansion as other automakers really struggle in shutter capacity. There could be opportunity to acquire some of these plants on the cheap from traditional automakers.
All right, Garrett, great to speak with you. Thank you. Garrett Nelson, CFRA.